The Hellenic Speed Slalom Association has already organized 2 speed and 1 slalom events so far, and with great success. Leading in the top 3, we find Efstathiadis, Vardalajos, and Stambulis. And now, time has come for the Slalom Nationals to start. Once again, the beautiful Greek river village of Drepano plays host. But as it is now summertime, the weather is quite different. Here, we're in the presence of light winds and a glorious sunlight. One thing remains the same, of course, the wonderful setting of the Rio Ontario Bridge. Greece's top windsurfers have gathered here for a chance to win the national title and the beautiful trophy that goes along with it. And not least, some international participations.
I'm from Sofia. I like to sail in Greece because the level is high, and you have a very good organization, national organization, and this is very interesting and good for us.
As always, before a race as critical as this, preparations are thorough and participants show a great attention to detail. They all know this by now. Every little thing counts at this level. A skipper's meeting will provide everyone with all necessary information about the race. Let us also check how things will unfold. As explained in this graph, there will be 4 groups overall, and the top 4 athletes from each race will qualify for the semis. The best 4 performances in each of these semifinals will get to the finals. So, it's a bit of a long and struggling road to the finals. The day in here started with close to 0 winds, but before too long, a light breeze arrived. So, then it was time for the windsurfers to hit the water and head for the area where the race would take place. And time for some warming up along the way. The light breeze favored the lighter athletes, of course, and provided good enough conditions for planing. Let's cast a more detailed look at this race. It will be a downwind slalom, with the windsurfers starting between the race committee boat and the mark. Before heading to the first mark, after 5 reaches, the plan is for them to finish the race right in front of the beach. But before they arrive there, it promises to be one tough race, with plenty of jibes and legs. If we could only get there, because the wind again abated. Disappointing, yet let's not forget it's also summer in Greece. So in the meantime, the windsurfers could talk among themselves, or they could get a tan. The choice was theirs. After a while, however, the wind was back, and the top athletes would prove they were ready for it. Papaspirou was involved in some fierce battles today, and Logothetis doing exceptionally well. Same goes for some of the young guns like Zinjovas. The day's first start saw both Polychronopoulos and Logothetis doing exceptionally well in the 3rd race. Papaspirou and Theokadis started out really well in the race committee boat side, with Fry only a few meters behind. He did prove his speed and agility, however, and managed to overtake them one by one. So, at the last mark, he was right in front of Logothetis and Giannatos, but still nothing was just over yet. They would have to round the mark before finishing, and this would be the most decisive moment for their race. It is not about who approaches the mark first, but who is faster at the ending of the rounding. In the day's second race, it was Jenny Matas leading with Poupalos in 2nd place, followed a few meters behind by Zotos. It was a really tough race, with the wind dropping significantly during the last legs. The lighter windsurfers would benefit from this, while some of the favorites could not perform well. Both races were annulled in the end, since the wind was measured below the lowest limit allowed. What a shame! The second day would include fewer unpleasant surprises, however. Even though the winds were again very light in the morning hours, this would not be a problem later on. The second day was once full of action, with all races completed. In the first qualifying race, Apalagakis was leading with Doukas coming second, so both would see themselves move on to the semis. In the second race, it was Manev who enjoyed the best start, with Tomopoulos following a few meters behind. This race would prove tough, with battles raged and places contested until the very end. In third race, Papaspirou and Theokaris started out really well on the race committee boat side. Skouras, however, wasn't doing great. Finally, it was Athanasiou who finished third, with Koliopoulos just behind. In the final race to decide the ones who would qualify for the semifinals, it was Poupalos who got the bullet, and Evstathiadis would finish behind him. So, they were going to the next stage. But not so good news for Tomopoulos and Stambolis on the other hand. They gave it their all and battled with each other until the end, but none of them managed to qualify. The weather conditions played an important role to the performance of the windsurfers, leaving some of the top ones out of the finals. The young guns would prevail in this. After the second set of semis, it was now time for the grand finals. There was only space for the very best windsurfers. And that much is obvious from the very beginning. Athanasiou started on top at the pin end. Theoharis, on the other hand, overtook Poupalos and Apalagakis very soon after the race commenced. Athanasiou actually remained calm as the race unfolded, maintaining his lead in front of Theokaris, even though the latter is actually a more experienced windsurfer, and of course, national champion for 2011. They both had some fierce battles throughout all the legs, with Theokaris pressing his rival as long as they were approaching the last mark. During the last rounding, he got really close but finally did not make it. Understandably, the young windsurfer is very happy indeed, but there's still one day left. But on the last day of the event, again, winds were close to zero. Yet everyone was really in great spirits, especially the front runners. So, here they were, waiting to run just one more race.
Στο τελικό ήμουν πολύ τυχερός, έφυγα ακριβώς στην εκκίνηση με λίγο παραπάνω ταχύτητα από τους άλλους και λίγο πιο κάτω. Ένα ήταν από πίσω μου ο Ζωής όλη την ώρα και κοίταγα τι θα γίνει, άμα θα με περάσει ή όχι, πότε θα με περάσει, περίμενα. Εγώ κατάφερα να βγω δεύτερος με πολύ κόπο, διότι έτρεχα από τους συμμετελικούς με σπασμένη μάτσα. Ευτυχώς μπορέσα και κρατήθηκα και όλα καλά. Χάρηκα απίστευτα που την κούρσα την κέρδισε ο Νίκος Αθανασίου. Καταρχήν ελπίζω να φυσήξει είτε ανατολικός είτε δυτικός, να γίνει άλλη μια κουρσίτσα, να έχουμε λίγο πιο δίκαιο αποτέλεσμα και να κάνουμε και λίγο σερφ. Και ξέρω εγώ, ελπίζω να με περάσει σήμερα. Θα προσπαθήσω με όλες μου τις δυνάμεις να κρατήσω τα σκύπτρα από πέρυσι του πρωταθλητή.
However, the wind never came as it did yesterday, and nothing changed. Let's have a close look at the final results then. On the last day, it's Athanasiou first, Theokaris in second place, and Apalagakis third. We find Menev and Poupalos both in fourth place. Avramopoulos, Evstathiadis, Doukas, and Papaspirou are the names featuring between 5th and 8th place. Other athletes like Zotos, Stambolis, Tomopoulos, Legothetis, who are prominent in this race and fought fiercely, are further down in the results table. The award ceremony was waiting. Time for the winners to receive their trophies. And that's it from us reporting on Greece Slalom Nationals. It has been a tough competition, with mostly medium winds, with the very best windsurfers fighting it out across the stunning waters below Drepano. Thanks are also due to the yachting and sailing clubs of Patras for their hospitality. And thank you for watching.